Hello. I see everyone is dancing in chat. How you guys doing? Also, grats, Himiko. And my apologies, period. my condolences. Smug Kimi is best TV. And hello, welcome in. Why? Frame 1, tick 1, yawn. Please help me. Also, hi, Caden. I almost said Carrion. I almost made Caden and Perion's bastardization name. No, you're okay, Pixelate. You got this. I believe in you. Thank you, Himi. And hi, Usagi. Welcome in, everybody. How you guys doing? I'm getting my blanket on, because I'm cold as fuck. And Wee Wan's over there being cute. Yeah, you're cute. Also, I feel kind of bad. I went to go get water for stream, like I always do. There we go, I'm blanketed. And my cat greeted me, and I said, hello, little kibby. And, I accidentally zapped his little nose, so I'm a monster. Is that my baby's nose? This isn't the first time I've done it. I've done it on stream, like, once. I felt awful. Desmond out here, sleepy brain, making ship names like it's 2020, like it's 2002. Sorry. It is 20... now, Kibby, I booped him. I booped his little nose gentle. And then I zapped him. Like a monster. But yeah, today we're gonna do some World Building Wednesday because it is Wednesday, my dude, and we have a little guest. We have a friend. I have a nose. I have an itch. I'm okay. Everything is... I'm having a lot of technical difficulties, apparently. Mostly with my bodily autonomy. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to bring in our lovely little guest, if they're ready. I'm also going to adjust everything. And let me grab them by the scruff, like they're a kitten, and plop them in. Boop. Hello? Oh, wait. Hello. We have a PixelayedFae. And once again, I do have... Where's my... Ah! I do not have their Fugi. That's... okay. That's fine. I can add it in real quick. I should have all. I've recently just been adding in everything. There it is. They're a cute little burb. They are currently muted at the moment, but that's okay. I'm just gonna set everything up. Have a little burb. Hashtag professional. I'm the most professional. Listen, you get what you paid for. I never said I was good. You come here to watch a bat yawn and be bad at stuff. Alrighty. I'm adjusted in my chair. Weewan is hiding in his blankies because he's cute. And we're gonna check in on our PixelayedFae. Hello. Bat yawns are cute af. Wah. Wah. Also, for those of you who weren't here yesterday or have seen the Twitter, you'll notice your cups are different next to your names. I changed the colors. I think I'm gonna make a separate scene for all my Fugis, just overlay them all at once. Oh. That would be very confusing for my brain. But, I mean, I've just been grabbing the all. The one that takes them all up because I'm just like, eh. I'm glad the bat yawns are cute, though. At least I hope they're cute. Wah. I have a sneeze again. Help. I don't want to sneeze. I swear, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I'm good. And then the moment the camera starts rolling, my body goes, so you want to do everything at once. And I'm like, what? It's bullshit. BikoBot uses a similar setup, place them in a scene, place in a current scene as a source. I see. Something's wrong? Uh-oh. Everything okay? Uh-oh. That's not good. Also, I need to edit something very quickly. There we go. Okay. I needed to change my voice settings for Discord. Yeah, little blinky bats. Eek. You like the one Bat Sanctuary on YouTube? How do the little baby burrito, little bat-ritos? You hate mobile? I feel that. And no, I cannot hear you. I am sorry. If you need to leave the Discord, I will pull you back in. Just in case that fixes it. But yeah, it's okay. Technical difficulties are a gold standard. I do need to find the sheet. Because, as usual, I will be using a Google Doc. Wow, why was that hard to say? I'd struggled. That was a struggle. Alright, let me grab my Google Doc, and let's grab Fae again. Alright. Testing. Hi, Kibi. If you are talking, I do not think I can hear you. What, Kibi? My cat is very upset with me. You know what, buddy? You're right. I did zap your nose, and I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys heard that. Hi, hon. My Kibi. Yeah, he is not okay with me. Would a stream really be a stream with no scuff? Exactly. We know that name well here. Alright, so I'm going to at least set up the stream real quick. Angie Cecil Muse. Yeah, he Angie. I don't think he's mad so much as he's just talking to me. So I'm gonna hop over here. Whee! Wow! It's so big because I'm dumb. There we go. Make it little.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can! Ah!
Oh my gosh, it worked!
It's fixed! Do you know what the problem was? Lorg. Yes, Lorg.
No.
Oh, well, at least you're here now, and we got it fixed.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, so I gave you the Google Doc, so you can open that at your leisure.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, this is the lovely PixelayedFae. We've seen them in chat. If you want to introduce yourself and give us a sentence or two about your culture stuff, you can. Otherwise, I can take over.
I am so nervous.
No, it's okay. I understand.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We're just chill here. I promise I am the most loosey-goosey streamer you will ever meet.
That is true. Welcome to the country of peril. This country is of art and peace. It is covered in taiga, with large hills to the southeast, fertile woodland to the north, and barren wasteland in the Midlands. it's known for its textiles, art style, building style, and their instruments. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, we're gonna be working on Pixel's, oh, do you prefer Pixel or Fae?
You can call me either or, whatever one's easier.
I'll probably switch then. Just because I'm a dork. Also, Caden, I might bite a little. Listen, I'm a vampire bat. I need to nom. Aw, Sheehan. Sheehan says greetings. From the... Oh, I tabbed it out. Help! For the Empire of Arcadia. Yeah, I have to balance a lot of, a lot of boxes here. Alright, so I have the culture sheet open, and you can choose whichever piece we need to start working on first. There's the social category and then the culture category. But I believe you're going to be in the culture category? Alrighty. So, you said that you wanted to start from scratch almost, like, start from the beginning, which, once again, that is a good... Sometimes it's just a good idea to start from scratch. I've had to a few times.
Yeah.
But, what... Oh, Cecil! Hi, cutie! He was scratching something. What category... Not category. What, topic would you like to start covering first? You were mentioning art, as well as, stuff that they craft, such as textiles, building styles, instruments, a lot of art-centric pieces.
Well, yeah, I was planning on the country of peril to be more of, an artistic type of nation. I cannot speak.
No, you're okay.
We can start with naming conventions.
We can. Now, do you have, any understanding of their language yet at all, or nah? You're just gonna play it by ear?
I'm just gonna wing it.
Valid. So I am all for inspiration from other cultures. I always say don't take wholesale from other human cultures, but there's nothing wrong with inspiration. Do you know what kind of naming conventions they have that's, like, comparable to another culture? Just to give us a better understanding.
I honestly haven't really thought about that yet.
Fair. So then we can work on that now.
Okay.
Now, naming conventions in the category can literally mean anything. It can be what kind of names they give their kids. It can be mechanics on how they work first names and last names. Because, you know, not every culture does first name, last name. That's just what we do here in the West. A lot of people in the East do it last name, first name. So it just covers anything to do with that.
Well, I mean, last name, first name is pretty cool.
It is very cool. So if you wanted to go first, or last name, first name, we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning.
Hello, someone. But, Usagi. West, first name, last name. Yes, East, last name, first name. Yeah, that's typically how they do it. And if you have a culture that does that, it usually tells you that they consider the family first instead of the, individual. Because in the West, we have a very, individual thinking where we have to be responsible for ourselves, we have to be independent. And then in the East, it's all about family, but also community. So that could help with whatever, the future ideas you end up with because of the naming choice you made. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, of course.
Also, hi Zebber! The lovely pillow prince. I am good. How are you? We are doing World Building Wednesdays. Alrighty, so last name then first name, meaning...
So... That was weird. My phone just did a thing.
Uh-oh,
Am I
everything
still
okay?
connected?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good.
So yeah, last name then first name. Let me... There we go. Meaning emphasis on clan.
Honestly, with the last name, first name, the Country of Peril is more of like a community type based nation.
Alrighty, cool. That's typically what happens, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, but that's generally what happens. Hello, Pinguina-chan. It is
Pretty
Wednesday,
much.
my dude. I'm good. We're doing World Building Wednesday with a lovely PixelayedFae. Also, I'm gonna do a quick little thing.
Okay.
Oh no, I spelled it wrong, I think. Oh, does it not work with capitals? There we go. You were playing Among Us. Yeah, but this is who it is. PixelayedFae. Check them out. They're very sweet. Alright, so any other naming conventions you can think of? Such as any middle names? Cause I know a lot of cultures, some of them don't even worry about middle names. It's more about, like, where you're from. I know some have it, like, you know, John Johnson from Johnstown. That's fun little, I don't know. You're back with orange soda.
You know
Nice.
what? That... I might just have a town named Johntown.
Ah, yes, thank you.
It's gonna be named John.
Hell yeah. That's John Johnson. That's his dad, John Johnson. They are Owoburb. Yeah, the little Owos. They're very cute. But yeah, sometimes they add in that kind of stuff. They add in where you're from. But they will also add in middle names like we do, but sometimes they'll add like 5 middle names if they want to. Like in German, they can have up to 5 middle names easy. Says it's community based. Could their name sound be like Desmond from Desmond Jackula?
I can definitely confirm
yes. Yeah, I know. I know. There's been names like, oh fuck, I can't even think of anything at the moment. It's just they will pile names on for fun.
That is what it seems like it is.
So you can do something like that with any more naming conventions. The mechanics of it all. Or you can come up with something new if you'd like. But other than that, I would say the naming convention is over for now. Well, at least the mechanics. And then we can come up with a few... Oh, Pixel's mic is peaking just a little, but that's okay. I think I can fix that. No, it's not your fault. I can fix that. I think it's on my end. I think you're a little too loud because I turned you up. Because I'm a dumb. Alright, say something?
Testing?
Okay. Yeah, I think I had you a little too high on accident.
I'm sorry.
No, like I said, that was me.
I know, just if anyone's ears got hurt from my mic.
But no, you're fine.
Okay.
Boop. There we go.
So, dwellings.
Housies! Yeah, so dwellings are different from architecture. Architecture is the style of house that they typically use, kind of like the discussion of Roman versus Greek architecture, and that doesn't cover houses so much as it just covers how they do shit. Dwellings can cover anything from what rooms do they consider important to the home. Is the home opened up with a courtyard, like very commonly, such as Roman houses and um, I know the Japanese, like older feudal Japanese richer houses do that too, where like the house kind of wraps around a courtyard. Just stuff like that. You can choose the priorities that these people would have on what rooms they would have in the house.
Well, I was thinking of going for, I know it's typical, but basically more of the medieval kind of style.
Which is perfectly valid. It's always good to start with a template, especially one we know.
Yeah.
So then their houses would be... Oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Also, Pinguina says, it's all good, take it easy, and don't worry, we don't bite. Well, Usagi might, but that's another story. That's only if you say you're new and you're not. So, medieval-inspired dwellings, so it would be somewhat Western-ish. Maybe not as modern Western, but... Oh, no. I pushed a button. There we go.
A button has been pushed?
A button push. Oop. Uh-oh, Pinguina.
Uh-oh.
Pinguina sacrificed himself. No. Pinguina, no! You know what'll happen. You know the consequences. Alrighty, so, what else were you thinking for the medieval-inspired dwellings?
So let's say we're back in John Johnson Town.
Yay! Oh,
So
there it goes.
I imagine, they're usually being like, what? I think they were called, come on, brain.
Pet.
Midwives. Or basically just a doctor. It's like in the middle of the town. So that would just be in the middle of the town. The houses are in one area. And, sorry, I'm having, my, GM messaging me saying good luck.
Aww. That's adorable.
She's amazing.
Most DMs are. I'm old school, so I call them DMs because I'm a dork. Also, Pinguina, that's not how that works.
What? I
Pinguina sacrificed himself to Usagi. Oh
No.
wait, I need to do the I need to do my intro. Hold up.
Oh.
I did get the hi, I'm new. And I just completely ignored it, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch Pinguina die, apparently. And I completely forgot. Hello everyone, I am Desmond Dracula, a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as world build on Wednesdays. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. There, I have given you your reward for going down like a hero, Pinguina. There you go. Yes, Fae is adorable, by the way. You are very sweet. You're very precious. And your bird is adorable. The bird picture, I mean.
Thanks. It's funny because I remember it came from some YouTube video, but it's been too long, I can't remember.
I don't watch bird videos or like silly meme. I'm assuming it was a meme video because of the W. But it's so cute. I wish I
It
could
is.
find it too. I want to pet the burb. Oh, and you got a
It's
surprise Banoonie kiss. Thank you, Usagi. I
Well,
know.
thank you.
Blessed. Alrighty, so, when you were talking about the dwellings, you said we're in John Johnstown.
Yeah,
And
I'm
there
just
is
gonna.
a apothecary or a physician's place in the middle, and the houses are surrounding it.
Yes.
It's not code, I promise. Alrighty. And I'm assuming they have class disparity as most cultures do. So some houses will probably be drab while others are very nice, or is it a town where it's, or not a town, is it a country where it's a lot more equal than that, where most people can afford to have nicer places because they all engage in like the art and the culture?
Yes. The the second one.
Okay, so they're all pretty well off. It's more utopic than your standard concept of medieval, like, here's the peasants and here's the nobles.
I mean, there are nobles, but basically anyone that isn't a noble is still well off, except
Okay.
if you're a prisoner,
Fair.
which is basically non-existent. I'm
I'm
joking.
I was about to say, if you're a prisoner in a country that calls itself peace, I want to know what the hell you did.
Well, I mean, if you commit mass murder.
Yeah. At that point, you kind of deserve to not have much. You just gotta stay in a little cell or something. So yeah, people of quote unquote, I guess, poorer standing of the country, they still have a lot of luxuries, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they still have roof over their heads, they still are able to have food. If even if free healthcare.
Pog. I want free healthcare. Actually, no, I technically have free healthcare. I want free healthcare for everyone.
Same.
Yeah, I have healthcare, but that's only because Leon's a teacher, and that's kind of sad that no one else can get that. Well, not easily.
Yeah, it really isn't too easy to do, to be honest. So anyway, sorry.
Right, topic. Hi, Sarax. How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
We have a lovely Fae today. We're talking about sad shit, because I'm... The teacher we won? Yes, teacher we won. So
Yes.
yeah, I've written down medieval-inspired buildings, there's still class disparity, but the poorer are still living in relative ease and comfort. Comfort. And comfort. Okay. There we go. Anything else you can think of for, would I like a Borgor?
Borgor? What is that?
It's a burger.
Oh,
A free burger. Yes, Pyrian, give me free burger.
yes, burger.
Give burger.
Burger.
Okay, so poor versus rich. The rich probably, I'm assuming they have like bigger houses and whatnot, but the poor still live in a relative ease and comfort. They have luxuries. Anything else we can think of for housing? Burger.
Does anyone have any ideas?
That's true. You guys, what do you think? Also, how much I usual burger order? I don't eat burger that often. I know, sacrilege.
When was the last time we ate burger?
When was last time burger? I can't believe Leon's teaching after escaping Raccoon City. he did it. He saved the he saved the president's daughter. Oh, was playing Minecraft with mods. Nice. Have a new banner in Fate. Nice. And don't apologize. The houses themselves, Pinguina. What kind of ideas you could have for the home? Because architecture is right below that. Aw, you blessed. I wish I had a cool burger place nearby. All we have is dumb Burger King and... Like, all we have is, like, the standard fast food chains. This is kind of meh. My cholesterol's also way too high. Pinguina, please. But yeah, we're discussing the housing themselves. Oh, what's the resources? Yeah, that's a good question. What resources do they use for their buildings? What kind of materials do they have available to them to build up their houses?
That is a very good question. I would imagine they would, basically they would use wood for it. So I guess if you really want to, really go to the prison, you can just set John Johnson-town on fire.
Poor John Johnson-town. Also, I got clingy money? Hold on.
Oh?
Oh, period. Thank you, period. I'm gonna cry, hold on. Homie. That's so sweet of you. Thank you for the $25. Holy shit. Get some food. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna go get some food. After stream, of course. I'm not ending yet. But, anyway, sorry. I got a dono. I had to cry.
It's okay.
Wait.
There.
Oh, Sarex is dying now.
No! Why are they dying?
Because they're all redeeming hi, I'm new. Alright, let me... Sarex, I appreciate your sacrifice. And hello, I am Desmond Dracula, a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as world build on Wednesdays. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. There we go. That's true. We could consider stones or clays. You said that they are... Let me go back to what you wrote to me, because I forget things easily. But you said that they are in a woodlands in the southeast. It's very fertile, and to the north of them is a very barren wasteland. And you said it's in a taiga? Or it's near a taiga? Covered in taiga, that's what it is. So yeah, they would primarily be woods.
Yeah, pretty much, but, I mean, I can also see them using stone or anything else. Mostly, woods and stone. Because I think they would be using the clay for mostly pottery and jewelry.
True. They could use, like, a bit of clay for just keeping stuff together, but other than that, it doesn't have to be, like, primarily made of clay. Especially if the clay is hard to get to, or if it's, like, more rare. They might prioritize it to something else. Ah!
Pretty much.
Blam! Hello, Blippi. Thank you for the Betty. Alrighty, so... Oh, good morning, Cosma. I'm assuming they have natural, resources like rivers flowing through.
Oh yeah, there's, a couple of rivers that are kind of... Like, you know the wasteland? There's, a river between the wasteland and the... basically John Johnson town.
My poor town. So, if it's probably not a stretch to assume that that is probably also bordered by mountains to some degree.
Yeah.
Okay, because I do know that typically when you have a very fertile piece of land and then a barren land on the other, like right next to it, that's usually because there's a cutoff point between the two with a mountain range. Because all the rainfall goes to one side and then the other side gets fucked and does not see rain.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
It would also explain where the rivers come from, because rivers actually primarily come from rainfall that's coming from mountains. So that's where our rivers could come from in this area. And if they have rivers, then they do have access to clay and sand. But not as much as they could compared to like a desert that has like sand galore.
I mean, they would I imagine they'd have to literally make a trip over the mountains if they want sand.
At least in large quantities. Oh, the forest, it's a taiga. Oh, how cold is winter? Asks Syrinx.
Their winters are pretty harsh. And, basically, it can sometimes get to the point where there might be, like, a couple of deaths. Nothing, like, horribly bad, but usually, when the winter comes, it's just really harsh and hard for them to survive. But during the warmer months, it's just a lot easier.
Yeah, because they are in. It sounds like they're in like a more northern part of the hemisphere, so it's just super cold during the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if they have access to primarily wood and stone, that means clay is a little more difficult, and if sand is pretty much rare as hell, and you have to like literally walk across a mountain to get it, I'm assuming that's like a luxury import good that you only really see in like noble houses.
Pretty much. Just I just had a funny image in my head. Like one of the bigger noblemen's houses just has one of those Zen gardens.
Yeah. That would be really pretty. But I could definitely see them using sand as kind of a flex on people who are in lower classes than them. Is this a culture where people do flex? Or they don't really show off luxury and wealth the same way we do?
Well, I mean, sometimes they flex. It just depends on the person.
Ah, that fair. And since this country does have last name, first name, and if you are going to go with the clan is higher than individual, then it could be kind of like a family thing, where it's like, oh yeah, our family did this. Look at our cool windows.
Yes. Hey, look at our cool windows. Oh no, your window broke? Well, that sucks.
So that means glass blowing could also be considered a luxury thing too. Especially in the cold. That means you need more resources to heat up the sand.
That is so true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So now that we have that written down, we can put in the dwellings, all of that, if you would like me to.
Yes, please.
Okay. So they live in relative ease and comfort. However, more noble houses and rich houses sport more glass in the form of windows, walls, and sculptures. There we go. More noble houses or rich houses sport more glass in the form of windows, walls, and other decor.
Yes. Sounds perfect.
Yay! I'm also going to assume they either have a lot of, what's the term? What is it? They have a lot of ranching. Like they have goats for wool because they are in a colder area, or they put emphasis on hunting for furs.
I mean, there might be like a farmer or two, rancher or two. But usually they would go out hunting.
Okay. So emphasis on grabbing the animal's fur, and they don't super focus on animal husbandry.
Yes.
Okay. Do they need to insulate their houses because of the harsh winters?
Yes, they do. And they do so using dried grass and yeah. When I mean that, I mean like it's like in between the walls.
I'm assuming they'd use like muds and clays to kind of help with that. To keep it like stuck
much.
in. Okay. Alright, I wrote that down as well. And that would work really well as an insulator for when you need your fire on and, you know, it's cold as shit outside.
Yeah.
That would also mean, yeah, hardly any windows because they don't want to... I don't know if they'd consider glass a poor insulator. I don't know if... Is glass a poor insulator? Uh-oh.
I would imagine kind of... But at the same time... You know what? I think it would kind of be a poor insulator, so...
Yeah, I think it's kind of a bad insulator.
It'll just be a bit more cold.
I'm assuming noble and rich houses have other ways of keeping themselves warm because they have access to those luxuries. So it's kind of like more of a flex where I can afford to have glass windows. You can't. I'm assuming that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. I find it kind of, in a way, interesting thinking about this.
I got booped.
Like, we have windows, and you don't.
Yep.
It just kind of, like, makes you think, like, wait, what? What's so important?
I know, we don't think that way, because we're like, I don't know, everyone can get windows. But that's the fun thing about world building. It's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense in the context of the area. Also, have a good anime watch, Serex. Not just Parian says not just windows, stained glass windows.
Yes,
that'd be very pretty.
Windows.
That'd be so pretty.
Ooh.
Have like a rainbow district of noble houses where you walk through and it's just beautiful colors shining down from the windows. Baby. I'm patenting. Oh no, I closed it! I closed my music!
Not the music!
It died. But I'm patenting my my concept of rainbow fuck, what did I say? Rainbow district, and I'm calling it the gay district. No one can stop me.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yay! John Johnson has gays.
No, John Johnson is the gayest town.
We're yes. I know that town like John Johnson, that's pretty much a euphemism for dicks anyway.
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna separate some of these out so I can make my writing more cohesive. Let's
Okay.
grab this. So insulation is imperative for winters, and use dry grass and mud to keep the heat in and the cold out. However, most noble rich houses sport more glass in the form of windows, walls, and other decor. As such, they use other methods of keeping warm, as glass makes for a poor insulator. There we go. Alright, anything else on the basic structures of how houses work, or can you think of anything else? Or chat, do you have any other questions? There we go. I also added in the stained glass windows.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of how they'd insulate with their windows. I'm assuming they would, I'm assuming they'd have, like, multiple layers to their houses?
Yeah, that was, a little bit of an idea. I don't know if I said it out loud or not.
Oh. Yeah, I think multiple layers of, like, the walls would help keep insulation to kind of counter the windows. Or maybe they'd have a room specifically for, like hallways kind of, like, layering over the houses. I don't know.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Huh. Also, I'm just thinking of a pretty courtyard that's opened with glass on top. Pribby.
You know, I just thought of something.
Yo, what's up?
So, let's say a traveler comes into town. I would say there would be a tavern kind of mixed in with a inn.
Kind of like together as the same building?
Yes.
It would. I'm assuming it would be near the entrance to the city, because that's normally where you want to put tourist buildings.
Yeah, it would be there.
So it's safe to say they'd be considered like the same thing because they're associated together?
Yeah.
There we go. And how does their art and their textiles, how does all of that feature into their houses?
Their windows.
True. Do they use it for, like, other kind of decorating? Like, wood carvings?
Oh yeah. There would be wood carving and, like you said, glass blowing and
Because hold on, let me
pottery.
look at pottery. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I'm thinking of here. I'm thinking of the Norse, I believe?
Oh.
Because you know how they have, like, their really pretty architecture? I do know that some Norse houses have pillars on the insides of their buildings, as well as the outside. Like, think, Rohan from Lord of the Rings, if you've seen it. They have these really pretty pillars that hoist up their houses, and the pillars could be like eloquently carved, considering this is a predominantly artistic culture.
Yeah. They would have that. Man, I wish I could just show you what I'm imagining right now. 'Cause
Here, I could send you a picture real quick. Ah! It yelled at me because my files are too powerful, apparently.
oh no.
Thanks, Discord. Give me a second.
Take your time.
There we go. So something kind of like that was what I was thinking.
Yes. Exactly, something exactly like that.
Yeah, and that could go on the outside or the inside.
Yeah. I kind of like how the little flags look. They remind me of, like, Bulbasaur, like the little plant on its back.
Yeah, kinda. Oh, that's another thing. You said that they do have textiles and they're very artistic. I'm assuming they would use a lot of curtains, maybe, to decorate walls or to hang from ceilings.
Yeah, they would. Let me try to find a picture or something.
Okay. I am struggling to get these images to load for me. I hope everything's good. No, we're good. We're still live. My internet, not my internet, my Opera's just fucking around. Images, please. Of course. Oh, yeah, no. That link is just straight up broken. Okay, I'll just take a picture of it then. But the image that I sent Pixelayed is this. Hold on, let me... I'm scrolling up and looking for it. Here it is.
They would kind of have maybe some stuff like these.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Yeah.
Almost Victorian in nature. It's very pretty. But there we go. I have shared the image with Stream.
Stream what you think.
Yeah, I was thinking pillars kind of like this, maybe what is it called? What are these? They're like the thingies that connect the pillars together. It's like the archways of the balcony atop. They could carve in those. Skyrim Jarls. Yeah, it's pretty much the Skyrim Jarls Hall.
Yars.
I said Yar, it's Jarls. Or
Jarl.
maybe something like this. Where the pillars are crafted in this way.
Okay.
And this picture wasn't loading on my Google, or on my thing. Spandrels. Oh, they're called spandrels. Thank you, Pyrian. I don't know architecture, I'm sorry. But this is a square pillar, and it's got, like, these really pretty Norse knot carvings, which are, like, these really intricate little, like, weaves of carving that they do. I'm assuming they would do that for their housing, just for decoration's sake.
Yeah. That does sound really pretty.
It is. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why my shit's acting weird. I accidentally launched Origins. It's my Sims. Thank you for Sims 4 building knowledge. Yes, good. Alrighty. There we go. I added in that wood carvings and pillars and walls, as well as tapestries of curtains, can act as decor for the home. The Origin's so fat. Origin is fat.
You know, I also thought of another thing. Sewing would be a huge part of not only the word just died. My brain. What was
The culture?
Textile.
Textiles. That's right. So they'd consider sewing and textile work to be like a really high priority decoration job?
Not only decoration, but for like clothes and kind of also sometimes art. Cause imagine you make a huge wood carving and you want to decorate it. So you make a hat and a boa for it. There you go.
Oh. Maybe they use textiles in a way we don't see people do today. Maybe because of the predominance in textiles, maybe they take some sort of adhesive and they stick it into the crevices of carvings and kind of decorate it that way.
Ooh.
Kind of like how medieval monks used to gold plate or gold flake books. They could, They might be able to do that with textiles. Like cut strips of fabric and like glue it in place on, like, let's say they carved a dragon and they want like the scales to be different colors. Maybe they cut out like little pieces for the scales and just kind of glue it in there.
Ooh, that would also be a good use for like some of the clay to like stick the fabric on.
Yeah. Also, if they're in a taiga and they have access to more evergreen trees, they also have access to saps and syrups, and they can use that as glue.
True. That they might actually use that to put things together, like the sap from the evergreens.
Alright, I'm gonna write that in for you. Textile cut pieces, sap for glue,
Okay.
taped to wood carvings to... to pop out color and emphasize certain parts of it. They could also use that for just straight up the wall. Kind of like how we put on wallpaper. They might have cloth walls. Especially with those kind of patterns that you've shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, resins would be plentiful as well, says Pyrian. Resins are hella useful material.
That resin is pretty freaking awesome.
Cosmo, you're cute. Yeah, it has a polymer chemistry, and it is very good for stickiness. It's also good for casting. So they could use resin in some cases to kind of like gloss over something and make it shinier.
Ooh. Yeah, the armors and blacksmiths would mostly use that, wouldn't they?
Very possibly. They could use it for polish.
Definitely for the polish.
Oh, it could also help with possibly buffing out leather as well, depending on how they curate the resin. And you did say they hunt a lot, so that means they'd have a lot of access to furs and skins.
Yes.
That means an abundance of leather. So they'd probably have a lot of leather shoes, a lot of leather belts, fur coats.
Yeah, they would have a lot of that stuff, so... Maybe,
Alright.
like, if some of... Like, let's say John Johnson's kid, Little John...
Little John Jr.
Little John Jr. wanted to, like, be a guard for the town or something, and he was in training, they would probably start out with leather armor.
That's to kind of help with the initial learning.
Yes.
Okay. So we could drop that in fabric or fashions later. Can you think of anything else for the dwellings? Like how they would decorate it? Or what they would, I guess, keep primarily in the home? Because I'm tapped for ideas at the moment.
Kind of same. I was thinking of, oh, what if they painted pretty pictures on rocks?
I mean, that could also work.
Yeah, it could.
We'd have to not understand, what's the term? We'd have to contemplate how they get a hold of the paints. Oh, have a good lurk, someone.
Have a good lurk.
Yeah. Because if they are in the north, it might be a little more difficult to get a hold of some colors. Especially considering we get most of our colors, or we got most of our colors from like berries and other plants, boiling them. So we'd have to look about what kind of colors they'd have access to. Norse.
That is true, because how would they also get the stained glass windows?
Very true.
Um,
Con! Hello, Con.
that didn't sound good.
Ah.
Nothing.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I have my, cousin sleeping over, and I think they just kind of fell off the couch.
Oh no! I hope everything's okay. Yeah! Hello, Con! This is Faye! I had them
Hello, it's
on.
nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm. It is Worldbuilding Wednesday, and they are my lovely guests for the day.
And I very much appreciate the help with this.
Of course! I always have fun helping people with this stuff. My brain go burr when I do world building.
Brango Burr.
I'm trying to figure out how the ancient Norse dyed their clothes, because it seems like the culture isn't Norse, but it is in the same area as the Nordic people. So it's pretty good to look at cultures that share the same biomes as the ones you play in, just to make sure you have everything straightened out. And the Norse had a lot of dyes. Like, the Norse had access to a lot of beautiful colors. A lot of dark colors, too, like woad blue. And it is from the plants nearby, like, let's see. I know woad blue is from a plant. It's really pretty. I think they steeped it in water for a while and then got the color. Also, I think it's where we got the word blue from. Everything I see here, it's called blood. So, I think this is where we got the word blue.
Moist. That
Moist.
is actually a cool fact.
Yeah. To be fair, we got most of our names from the Norse. Blue is Blar, Old Norse red is Rauther, I think. Anyway, this isn't a Norse lesson. We're here to look at dyes. They had access to blues from a lovely little plant. They had access to a very deep red. They also had access to a very soft salmon pink, and I believe a yellow. So you have a lot of choices. And they're all very pretty and bold. So these people would probably have a lot of bold colors.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's John Johnson Town, the gayest town of
In town.
all Carol.
Hell yeah. Oh, I did want to ask, is the entire country in this one biome? Or does it depend on where you look in the country?
Peril is a pretty big country. So, the city of John Johnson.
I'm so sorry I came up with that shitty name.
Don't be, because I'm the one that's continuing it on. Basically, it was, I'm gonna say it was one of the more earlier settlements of that nation.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like the big... We're focusing kind of like on the center point.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's good to know. John Johnson from the town of John Johnson and the continent of John Johnson. Thank you, Pinguina.
Did I ever tell you why I was building this world?
You did not. Do you want to share it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
My mom used to play D&D, like, when
Dope.
she was, like, around my age, and even younger. And she hasn't played in so many years, and I just want to run a campaign for her and my cousin.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Thing is, my cousin is leaving on, like, the 21st, so I need to think of something quick.
Ah, fair.
I kind of got her into D&D.
Again? Or, oh, your cousin.
Yeah.
Right. That's, Faye, that's just so sweet. What the hell? I know, Faye's adorable. Faye is adorable. What the hell? Pinguina says you're adorable.
I appreciate the compliments. I love you guys. You're all so sweet.
No.
I shall protect you all.
We'll protect you too. Alrighty, so since we've been working on the actual dwellings and what they're made of, that could actually help a lot with the architecture.
That is true.
Because since we've gone over how the dwellings work, it lets us know that they have access to wood, stone, clay, sand, to some extent, resins and textiles for the act of decoration. Oh, Yanni bat, don't mind me. So, it would help us understand how they would go about their architecture. And it does sound like it's probably Norse-ish, maybe not the way they do it, because the Norse buildings are shaped a certain way because they put a focus on, I believe they're called longhouses and boathouses, because the roof is very reminiscent of a longship. But I'm assuming they're gonna have different architectural, term? Origins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a mix of medieval and, I guess, now Norse.
Nice. So then, whenever you are coming up with more architectural understanding, you can just look up medieval buildings, Norse buildings, ancient Norse buildings, and see which ones work for you. You can also look at Scandinavian, I believe they're called stave temples. I gotta look that up real quick.
Okay.
Oh, and Dan, thank you for the snack. Also, if you have a snack, nibble a snack. Nom
Nom
nom.
nom.
Yum yum yum. I'm gonna go grab a little popsicle to keep myself cool, since it's gonna get hot later today. I can feel it. I'll be
Alright.
right back, everybody.
Oh, chat. I can't really see you guys right now, but I hope you're enjoying this. Thank you again for the compliments and everything. I hope you guys enjoy John Johnson Town.
Alright, I am back. And I shocked myself again.
No.
Shit was painful.
Oof.
It wasn't like one of those tiny ones either. It was like a full-ass zap through my whole finger. It sucked.
Ooh. I hate those. Those are the worst shocks.
Yeah, it was very ow. But here, let me thief this blankie. I had a blanket in Leon's chair, and I had to thief it. Gib.
Okay.
Alrighty. So let's see. Oh, apparently Pyrian has been stalked on Twitter by Himiko. Wah. No, I have to find these buildings that I was thinking of. Because these aren't necessarily... Well, they're Norse, but they're like later Norse. And I think they're called stave churches. And you'd know them if you saw them. I just have to send a picture. There we go. If it loads. And here I can show chat. These are stave churches. And they're very pretty, and the architecture is gorgeous. But they are distinctly different from, like, standard Norse architecture. But they do look a little more medieval, so you could look at those for inspiration as well.
You know, I wonder if,
Himiko Comics? Aww.
You know what? I know what I'm gonna do with a building like that. I'm gonna have it be called the Temple of Desmond.
I don't need a temple. I promise. I am just a battler. A bat butler. Ah, okay, there we go.
It's gonna be ran by a vampire bat.
Yes, good. Also, this is what more traditional Norse buildings look like. You see how they have like the little pillars surrounding it, and it's kind of shaped almost like a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another inspiration you could grab.
I would imagine that being more of, like, the houses on, like, the outer skirts. Because, you know, it kind of reminds me of, like if you had a couple of sheep, a couple of goats, or cows, or whatever, you know, it looks more like a cute little farmhouse. Like,
yeah.
it would be, I mean.
Yeah, I could see that as well. It does look like it would be on the outskirts. It doesn't look like it would be like a main building, in like the center of town. But I did find something that does look like it could work that way. It's a lot more
Okay.
modern, and it has windows, so this would probably be like what a modern or a rich quote-unquote person's house would be. There we go. It's sending.
Okay.
And for chat, there you guys go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I think it looks really pretty.
Oh, and the little pillars. Just imagine the little the things you said earlier.
Oh, the textile?
Would it be a textile? I'm talking about like the pillar, like I forgot the name of the thing that attaches the pillar
Oh,
to, like,
shit. Pyrian said it earlier. Spandrels.
spandrels. Just add some spandrels on that and boom.
That would be really pretty. But yeah, I
Yes.
could see that being like a higher, the higher end house.
I can imagine that too. That and how it's like kind of rocky, but it's still like fertile land in the background. It looks
Yeah.
perfect. So
Alright, I'm just looking for a few more houses to kind of offer up to the critique of the PixelayedFae. Ooh, that is cute. There we go. There we go. I sent you a couple, another one, just for looking at. I don't know what it would be used for, but it just looks nice. It has a nice shape to it.
yeah, I don't know what it would be used for either. Oh, maybe that can be like a little shrine. Oh, and the second one you sent would most likely be like the doctor's office, like in the middle of town.
Oh, nice. I'm adding them to stream as I send them to you. But yeah, I loved the shape of that little building. I don't even know what it is. It's just cute. It's got a very interesting, like, T shape. It kind of reminds me of It kind of reminds me of a caravan that you would see like a couple of horses attached to, almost. Like it's been parked somewhere, like a mobile home.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea.
Maybe. Now that I'm thinking about it, they could have something like that, especially if they have, like, hunting parties for these creatures that they hunt. Because you said that they put more of a focus on hunting rather than animal husbandry. So they would probably need groups of moving, almost caravan-like people who go out for, like, a few weeks to maybe even a month who do this kind of thing. But that's just my interpretation. The 3 holes
Honestly,
are
I
for
like
low-tech
your
conveyors.
interpretation of
Nice.
it.
Oh, it's a grain house. Oh, I see. Pyrian says that it's actually a grain house. The one with the red on it. The 3 holes are there for low-tech conveyors. Got it.
That makes sense.
I'm out here theory crafting and shit, and Pyrian's like, actually. I could still see them using caravans of some sort, but I don't know how they'd pull it. Unless they have horses, but I don't know if they would.
Oh, yeah, there would be horses, mules, donkeys.
Okay. Also, I thought this looked cool.
Okay, that is so awesome. And so pretty.
That's why I hopped. Oh, to keep the moisture.
That one should be the doctor's office instead. Because it looks more like official, pretty, calming, like, hey, are you hurt? Come here, I shall help.
Yeah, I got pet by Leon. Okay, so that could be a more central building. It is very pretty.
Indeed.
Yeah, I gotta have pets. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna keep sending buildings to you. Just to give you more inspiration and ideas.
Ooh, that would be a really pretty inn.
It would be. It's very lovely. I think it has it looks like it has up to 3 to even 4 stories. But it could also have like a really deep what is it called? Foyer or area where they sit, kind of like a balcony where you can look over, and in the middle there's like the actual tavern, and then up in the balcony there's like in rooms.
Yeah.
Let me bring this in for you guys as well, so you can see it. It's a very nice building. There we go. Alright, so I've sent as many as I can think of. Hold on, I have to send one more.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty. This is very close to what I was thinking they could do with the wood carving.
Yes, exactly!
There we go. Look how pretty that is, everybody.
Sorry if I scared you or anything. I didn't mean to.
Dude, have you heard how hype I can get? But you don't scare me, I promise.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I can see that working. You're very pretty.
Very pretty indeed.
Alrighty, so with all of those selected... Ooh. I found a close-up of the pillar I was trying to show off earlier, though with the image that didn't want to load.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's real pretty. Those are, that's Viking knotwork or Viking braids, kind of. You can tell it's Viking inspired, at least. I don't think it's actually made by Vikings or the Norse, but it's definitely inspired. And they love doing this thing where one of the braids is really thick, and then it thins out to a very fine point, and then thickens out again. It's really cool. Norse...
That is cool.
Not carving. Let's see if I can find what I mean. That's Celtic. Oh, here we go. I can show you this with and show you what I mean by it. And I can show you guys. Like, they love that shit. Where you see, like, the really thick, shapes. Like, the really thick, circular shapes. And then, like, the really thin lines, kind of like ivies.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's real pretty. They love doing that. I think it's just to show off their carving skills, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But it's very pretty. Alright, so now that we have all of that covered, I'm assuming that covers both dwellings and architecture to some degree?
I agree with it. It is amazing and beautiful, and I think it fits extremely well together.
Yay! And it makes sense in the context of where they are. I'm assuming they'd also have, like, stone masonry and stone carvings, too. But I'm assuming wood carving would just be easier, because it's easier to carve into wood than to stone.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of metals they have access to? I need to know what tools they have.
have access to metal by trade.
Oh, got it, okay.
As long... Wait, no. I mean, as well as, paint.
Okay, so colors that they can't get where they are, they can just trade for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that would also be really pretty, just straight up painting, their walls as well.
Yeah.
Do they decorate primarily on the outside as well as the inside, or do you think they'd focus it primarily on the inside of the house?
Well, I would think, like, the lower class, they would usually focus more on the inside, while, the nobles and stuff would focus on the inside and the outside.
Okay, fair. There we go. I added in a few simple paint colors that they would have access to, which is primarily blue, red, and yellow. I know the Norse had a few other colors, but it's just good to have the three primaries. Also, I know that you actually can't mix most paints like that, at least from plants, to make hybrid stuff. Like blue to red makes purple. Like it doesn't work the same way. Sadly, not as accurately as our paints do, because it's like dye paint, not painting paint. If that makes sense. Ooh, I saw you hovering over religions. I got excited.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Alright, so we can put in the dwellings for... Or not dwellings, architecture. That they decorate mostly the inside. I'm assuming they have like a lot of pretty wooden carved furniture too, with maybe like weavings for like chairs.
Yeah, they would have that. But they would also use like some of the animal fur and stuff like that to like use as cushioning.
Yeah. I think that'd be really pretty. Do they have access to different colors of wood, or just primarily one wood?
Primarily, one wood. But they would also kind of trade for different woods. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
That's good. Oh, Pinguina is talking about FF14. Oh no. Something more subtle like an inn called the Battler. With the receptionist! I don't want to be receptionist. Just let me stay in my cafe. I am a bat. I don't need worship. I'm a butler. Sorry, I'm the one that's in service. Alrighty. Now I can't think of anything else as far as dwellings and architecture go. Yeah, worship Cosmo instead. Oh, I just broke my ankle.
I can't really think of anything else either. But, I think, some of the organizations, one of them would be called, the Central Center of Night.
Night as in nighttime, or night as in people?
Night is in people.
There we go. Center of Knights. Now, what would the organization do? And when I say organization, think anything from just a group of people to guilds or whatever. It's just to cover, you know, like, companies to guilds.
Basically the Center of Knights is, like, remember how I said, Little John Jr. wanted to be a knight?
Yes.
Well, he would go to the Center of Knights, and he would, have to say an oath, prove himself. Wait, no, he would have to prove himself, say an oath, and, you know, just protect the people. If anything sketchy is going on, or anything, they'll, kind of communicate to each other in, like, all different kinds of towns. Because the Center of Knights isn't just in one town. There's one in each town or every other town.
Okay. So it's a very expansive organization.
Pretty much, yeah.
If that's the case, does it have government backing?
No, it doesn't have government backing.
Okay, so they work on their own.
Pretty much.
I'm assuming, do they clash with any government body at all, or are they just kind of left alone because they're considered doing a good thing?
Well, I mean, the country wasn't always peaceful.
True.
There was definitely a clash between the Center of Knights and, I would think it would have been like a president or something, and he was just doing sketchy stuff, and he made the country go to war at one point, and the Knights are like, no, this ain't right, and so they, it was kind of like, a Civil War type of thing that happened. And the Center of Knights kind of took over, so it's kind of still a free-reign country. Like, no one's really in charge.
Okay, it kind of sounds like a inspired slightly by a shogunate, where there's two types of governing bodies. One is the actual government, which is in the shogunates it was the emperor, and then there was a separate body that ran things called the shogunate itself, and it was a bunch of shogun. It was a bunch of military people that also controlled the country. I'm assuming it's sort of like that.
I guess I honestly never really heard of that.
Really?
Like, yeah, the Center of Knights, though.
Hello,
like,
Lily.
They don't
Welcome in.
control the people. They have choices and all that. They're just there to, you know, make sure if any sketchy shit happens, they'll communicate about it, see what to do, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. So they're like a remnant of war. They're not really associated with government. They're kind of like their own separate thing, but I'm assuming people don't mind them being around because, like I said, they just kind of act as like guardians nowadays.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, separation of government versus authority kind of situation.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're almost like a privatized police force.
Pretty much, except for they don't hurt innocent people for no reason. And if
Well,
so,
no, I don't mean like Western police force. I just meant like an authority that protects.
oh,
We're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
in an ideal world where shit doesn't go down.
I was gonna say if one of the knights were to like hurt an innocent person, they're gonna get in trouble, like deep shit.
And that's good. They have checks and balances.
Yeah.
Pyrian asks, is it like a group of vigilantes or more like a private protection force? It sounds like they're a protection force.
They started out as vigilantes, most likely. Would that make sense?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Then they were vigilantes, now they're kind of a protection force.
I said Pyrian, I'm sorry, I meant Pinguina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was me. I messed up. I do that a lot. I get names mixed up. I think it's because I was reading Pyrian's name while reading Pinguina's comment, because Pyrian says they have 26k cubes. I need to make another tower. What's the prerequisites to join the knighthood? Pinguina asks.
What does that word mean?
Oh, what does it take to join them? Like, what kind of training and, I guess rituals do you have to do to get in? Like, do you need to be a certain strength? Do you have to perform certain tasks?
You have to perform certain tasks. I cannot think of the tasks at this moment.
Which is fair. I
Yeah.
know in the Western world, to quote a show I watched a while back, you had to be someone's laundry bitch for 5 years before you could be a knight. So I think those are called squires. Pinguina says, I feel like they would need to go through a lot of checks and moral integrity and uphold the justice above all.
Yes! That is perfect. You smart bean. You are amazing.
I'm assuming they'd probably have to go through certain tasks to prove that they're able to protect. Maybe be sent on missions that are in smaller towns. With the notion of, hey, if you go here and take care of whatever issue they have that's causing them to have
A panic or a freak.
yeah, uprest in their region, and you can stop it and prove that you can protect them, that's one of your tasks done.
Yeah. It would be like that, and their morals would be checked a lot. Any center of the knights are like, hey yo, I don't think I can do this anymore. They can leave, but they can never join back.
Which, fair. They'd probably want someone who's going to be loyal to them as long as they can. And if you ever show fault or faulty loyalty, they probably don't want you around.
Yeah. I mean, unless if you're like sick and you don't think you're gonna make it, but you somehow do. Like, under circumstances like that, they would be like, yeah, you can come back.
But if you just quit because you don't feel like it, they're like, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Pinguina asks, how big is the group?
So, each town or other town, there is one, I would say, guardsman to kind of like lead like small groups of Center of Knights. What else? My mind just went blank. I'm sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. So they're a pretty big group, pretty much.
Yeah. So they kind of have like sections in a way.
I'm assuming they have like a little hub per city that they're hosted up in.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go. Pinguina also asks, can you be born into the group? Like, can you join just because of lineage, or do you still need to go through the recruitment process?
So, let's say, you become a knight, you have a child. The child, if they join the Center of Knights, and if they can go through the same thing their parents went through, like, hey, protect this city, do this, etc. They have a chance on becoming a guardsman, which is basically over night.
So it certainly helps if you're looking to join it and you already have a family member who's in there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because they're like, oh, your dad's pretty moral and cool and dope. Maybe he raised his kid to be cool too. I'm assuming it's like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Pinguina also asks, in what capacity does the Center of Knights differ from the local army? I'm assuming they don't really have a local army, but I don't know.
They are the local army.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they are the local army. They're the country's army. They're just separate from government.
Pretty much.
Which could work. That's a double-edged sword. It could work really well, but also really badly if it's ever gotten corrupted. But it also keeps the government in check because the government can't use them.
Yeah. So that's kind of the idea of the campaign. There is going to be a corrupt guardsman.
Oh shit.
And they're going to be like one of the more higher ups, like, you know, basically a guardsman, but like, I don't know, what would be higher than a guardsman?
I'm assuming some sort of captain. I'm sure they have a ranking system.
Yeah, they would have a ranking system. Basically, it would start out them being, that and,
Oh, like a squire? You'd start off as a squire.
no.
No? Oh, okay.
Knights. What did I say after knights?
You could always come up with new terms. Those are always fun. Appearance as an officer of some kind.
Oh, guards! That's what I was calling them. So, you would start out as a knight. You wouldn't really have a chance to go higher, but your next of kin would have a chance.
Ah, okay.
And from there, you can become a captain, which
Okay.
is like the highest you can go, I'd imagine.
And I'm assuming there'd probably be some tinier ranks in between those three main ones. Where there's like, I don't know, like certain different knights.
Yeah, there would be. I just can't think of any at the moment.
Fair. Because that's kind of what we do in our army, sort of. We have different, like, levels of tiers. Or at least some do, I believe.
Like a tier 1 knight is like a knight in training kind of thing, but like a tier
Yeah.
2 knight is able to go on like quests, and like a tier 3 knight would be able to train the lower 2 ranks.
Yeah, kind of like that. I was thinking kind of, very, very close to that, yeah. Where you have, tiers in each rank.
Yeah.
Pinguina also asks, what's the dynamic between the Center of Knights and the government? I assume they don't like each other very much. My question is more towards how open are the adversity between the two? Like, how well do they jive together?
They clash heads. They just clash all the time. Like the government, it's still there, it still exists. But they can't really do anything without, like, the Center of Knights knowing.
Has the government ever tried to come up with their own army to kind of, like, combat the Center of Knights, or has it always kind of failed?
That's kind of also a part of the campaign that's going to be happening.
Ah,
But that's,
I see. Spoilers.
yeah, but I mean, they can't hear me.
Fair.
But I mean, if I ever do run this campaign online or anything, I would definitely offer anyone in chat right now.
Fair. Okay, so I won't try and get spoiled. I'm just curious about curious about the stuff, so I just asked the questions. I'm sorry.
Of course, I mean, I'm basically kind of spoiling it myself, but basically it's like, hey, idea, this is what can happen because of Prep Guard. Prep Guard is or was part of the government, now is leading the army against the Center of Knights.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a knight of the Center of Knights. They do not know he is bad guy.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Alright, any other organizations or anything else you want to add to the Center of Knights?
I mean, there's like a couple of guilds, like you don't have to be a knight to go adventuring or hunting or anything like that. But I can't really think of anything, to be honest.
I'm also assuming there's guilds for, like, merchants and textiles and all that good stuff. Just to keep trade secrets in those guilds.
Yeah.
Alright, so adventuring guilds, mercantile, textile, and other... Standard to medieval understanding. There we go. Now, do you want to cover anything about the government?
I don't know what to really say about the government.
Yeah.
Except, I know, I keep talking about it and it's just like, all of a sudden my brain is just like, brr.
Oh, Penguina says the Knights sound like they also have an intelligence division of some sort, or a spy division, because otherwise, I couldn't explain their uncanny abilities to get info, unless they have, officials on payroll, which would be considered bribery and corruption. Oh, kind of like, they have some government officials that feed them information.
I mean, I didn't really think of that.
Well, there it is, just in case you need it.
Right. I guess there would be a spy division. But you would most likely have to be a guard to join the spy division.
Right. Alrighty, so possible spy division for keeping tabs on what happens in the country. There we go. I wrote it all down.
Yeah.
Alright. So, for the government, they clearly don't get along with the Center of Knights because they can't control them. Does that mean the government has more of an easily corruptible, like, personality?
Pretty much, yeah.
So what does the government run? Like, what are they in charge of? And when I say government, I mean, like, is it a king, or a group of people, or a council? Oh wait, that would probably be a good starting question. Is this a monarchy or a democracy?
More of a democracy.
So there's multiple people that have been called in and voted for, pretty much, to make decisions on behalf of the people?
Yeah, but it didn't work out because, I mean, like, the president, like, the top head, literally made the country go to war at one point. Just because power hungry.
Fair. So, would you say the government doesn't have as a good of a check and balance as the Center of Knights?
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Penguina asks, despite being a democracy, do they still have a royal family? Such as the UK. Or not UK, the Britain.
Well, I mean, there are nobles. So... I don't really have an answer for that either.
Fair. You can just keep that in the back of your mind to think about later.
Yeah.
That is a question, though. Do the nobles and the more rich people, do they kind of have a bigger sway in who gets voted for? Kind of like what we have now?
Pretty much.
Okay, so it's the people with the biggest pockets say who gets to sit on the council throne.
Pretty much.
I was actually just getting to that, Penguina. Penguina asked how far are the nobles involved in politics, and that's pretty much what I asked. I'm sorry, Penguina. Do noble families try to actually get members of their family into government, like into politics?
Yes, they do. They do try that.
Worthy of my ex-nemesis.
But I'm gonna make it to where there's, like, very few nobles who just kind of hate politics. And it's just like, hey, this ain't right. Screw this.
Thank you for the 10 biddies, Amy. Which is fair, not everyone likes politics, I don't.
I don't either.
So, nobles influence the politics. And then some nobles even running and winning the positions as well. There we go. So yeah, nobles can influence politics, have a sway over who becomes politicians, and then some of them even run and win the positions.
Yeah.
I do not speak of politics, but if it's world building, I agree, Usagi.
Same.
So it sounds almost like an oligarchy, but with extra steps.
Again, I really don't know.
Oligarchy is the government run by few, especially by a small faction or persons or families.
Oh.
Yeah, which is basically kind of like what we are. At least here in America, it does feel like an oligarchy sometimes, because we don't really get a true choice in who joins. I'm getting sad again. Anyway, it does sound like they mask it with, hey, you can vote who you want, but then they kind of like, the government kind of sways the opinions.
Thing is, you have to have money to vote.
Okay, so then, yeah, that would definitely make it like some sort of oligarchy.
Pretty much.
There we go. So I wrote down, it's closer to an oligarchy because of how the voting is corrupted. And politics steamky. Politics are steamky. So I could definitely see why they like to throw a fits about the Center of Knights and why the Center of Knights feel they're probably very imperative. They're like, yeah, no, the government's bunk. We're doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's close out some of my layers because I don't need them. Layers. Tabs, that's the word. No, you're okay. Is the government stable despite being corrupt, or would they fall at the first problem? Asks Pinguina. I'm assuming they're more stable than that, but they're still kind of corrupt.
Yeah, it's kind of a rubber band kind of situation. The government's trying to stretch the rubber band. Knights are trying to make sure it doesn't break.
There we go. Usagi said, let's be honest, what government isn't corrupt? True.
Honestly, I don't mind a little anarchy.
I'm a little anarchy as a treat.
Yeah.
Alright, so as far as economy goes, I'm not gonna lie, economy bores me, so I always skip this shit. And it's my own cheat sheet, but usually what I use for economy is like what kind of money they have, or if they do trading or not.
Oh, basically they just trade. Like, there's a few other countries that they trade with, but it is only through the Center of Knights, because they will not do it through the government, because, you know, corruption.
Fair. Do they use a coin in their own country? Or do they also primarily trade and barter?
Wait. Wonder, oh no, what did I do?
Uh-oh.
What do...
I don't
what did
know.
do? Okay.
I cannot help.
Um...
Uh, Pinguina is asking, I was more like, do they have the resources and skill to stop an uprising and civil war if Little John wakes up one day and goes, Oi, Dave, pass me the pitchfork, we're toppling the forces today. And then the government just says, I guess I'll die. Are they able to stop uprisings?
The government or the Knight's Order?
I'm assuming the government, because the Knight's Order would probably be able to stamp that down easy.
Yeah, the government don't have the resources. The reason why they're still there is, because they're like, well, we still need something, but it's only because we don't want another country invading us. So we do need a quote-unquote leader.
There we go.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a lot more of a hassle to try and uproot them. They don't want to risk that civil war again just in case another country tries to take advantage.
Exactly.
Okay, so the risk is just higher if you do try to toss your government out. So they just kind of put up with them.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm assuming people also look towards the Center of Knights first if the government is pretty corrupt. Because they're like, you're not my first authority.
Yeah. They're like, hey, yo, Knights of the... Center of Knights, yeah, there's, like, a wolf that is, like, killing our livestock. Can you help us? Because the government ain't gonna do stuff to help, so they'll be like, yeah. They just send one of the, newer knights to get rid of the issue.
So this does remind me a lot of the shogunate in Japan. Which, like I said, it was technically... Japan had technically two governments. It had the noble, like, government, and then it had, like, the military government. It's really fucking cool. And then the nobles didn't actually have a whole lot of power, or they had power, but they weren't, like, looked to as the first actual governing body. They were considered, like, an issue.
Pretty much.
And then the shogun, the military, was the actual sovereign, like, governors, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if that's the case, I'm assuming the country would be in a weird nebulous state where they're slowly switching power, the government's getting weaker, and maybe the Center of Knights are becoming the governing body? Maybe they're in, like, that weird transitional period? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, that could be happening, but, it makes me, think of the BBEG, because, you know, he's...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilies.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yee. Alright, so back on the subject of economy for a moment, what would they be able to offer to other countries in terms of trade that that they don't have?
Well, there are, for one, their building skills, you know, basically what the country's known for. Like
Is their art and architecture and textiles?
Yeah. That, and I'm gonna also say, you can get phoenix feathers, but only from this country, from Country Peril.
Okay. So that's kind of what they have in terms of the trading business. It's hard for anyone else to get a hold of these, so they're like, hey, we got a stranglehold on that market. So they use that as leverage for imports.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Phoenix feathers are usually just kind of like how a revive works.
Ah, Phoenix Down. Yes, good.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I'm assuming they also just trade their art, because people love luxury goods.
Yeah, they do also trade their art and stuff.
Okay, so that's what they have in terms of their trade, because comparing it to China, I know in areas of China they sold a lot of silk and passed that shit around the east, which is actually where we got the Silk Road. So it's kind of like that, where they have like that stranglehold on just that area.
Pretty much, yeah.
Period said art trades are fun.
Wait, what?
Art trades, where two artists draw something for each other and trade them. Also, have a good lurky, Miko.
Yeah.
Art trades are fun.
They are.
Quoting Benjamin Franklin, men are not angels. True, Soggy.
Yes.
Alright, anything else you can think of trade-wise? What materials do they get in return? Because I know you mentioned metals. They don't really have access to metals from where they are. Is there anything else they want?
Usually they, get from trades, like, foods to, clay, paints.
I'm assuming sand and glass as well.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, they might also trade leathers too, because if they're in an area where a lot of bigger, heftier animals with a lot of leather on them they probably have a good market for leathers and furs.
Yeah, there would be, people that would trade that.
There we go. Alright. Can you think of anything else for the economy? Like I said, is there any coinage they want to do? I'm assuming not, because they don't have a natural resource for metals, which you wouldn't want to have your money be based on materials you get from another country.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can think of anything else, I could put it down.
I can't think of anything else.
Fair. And sometimes it's okay to not have an idea for literally everything, because you did say this is a campaign, and I'm of the opinion that you only world build what you need to, and the rest of it can just be improv, because otherwise there's no point in wasting so much brain power on something your players will never see.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Alrighty, so any religions that they have? Any primary religions or pantheons that they worship?
I mean, the... Well, not particularly. Anything, any gods or goddesses or devils that even exist in D&D, basically...
Oh, right.
If they want, it's up to the players.
I forgot. D&D does religions differently.
Yeah, it does.
If is it bad that I'm not a fan of how D&D does religion?
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad, just I'm very particular with my world building, so I'm like, why is it lazy? And I cry about it, even though I understand why they do it the way they do. It's because they're a company. They don't have all that time to literally create, like, dozens of religions and gods. But I do, because I'm cracked.
I mean, I can take some real world inspiration by Greek gods or
I think that's why it bothers me a bit. They've done this, they did that, kind of, but worse. They took, I believe it was Greek, Norse, Celtic, god pantheons and just kind of put them in. And they're like, here you go. Even though it doesn't make sense for their world because it's D&D. It's Faerun, it's not Earth.
yeah. I mean, even my DM, she made up her own gods, goddesses, devils, demons, and all that. So she is a lot more creative than me. They're so much more creative.
No, there's no, you don't need to compare yourself to other people. We all have the right amount of creativity.
Yes, that is true. It's just my brain cannot think of anything for this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, Pyrian says, true, though most of how I built out Pelor is most of my own making. I've kept some of his 4E history with the Raven Queen, but, like, everything else about him I've changed, which is fair. If there's something about a D&D character or god that you don't really like, or if you come up with a cool idea for him but that it doesn't fit, you could just go, I'm redoing it. D&D is very moldable. Oh, thank you, Blippi. Make sure you're getting a sippy and stretch, please. Please, Faye. I need my guest taken care of.
Alright, stretched. Drink some water, I'm good.
I'm gonna stretch real quick. There we go. Thank you, Blippi. Oh, really, sir? I turned to turn on my AC, and I booped my cat gently with my foot, and he was very upset with me.
Oh no.
He was just, are you okay, babe? I'm sorry I got you killed. But yeah, I booped him. You can't even barely touch him, or he'll be like, hey, fucker. It's like, oh, sorry. Alrighty, so I'm assuming magic also works like standard D&D?
Pretty much.
Yeah, same with medicine? Or do they have any differences in terms of that?
I mean, there's the Phoenix down, but...
That is true.
Other than that, there's, like, health potions, like in D&D. Magic is basically the same.
I know, how dare I boop his butt? How dare I? Alright, now, we're in education. And if any of this is boring or you don't want to, like, do it, let me know. I will skip right over it. But I'm assuming they have, like, standard medieval education.
Pretty much. But here's the kicker. They can decide if they want to, like... If they want to learn about a particular thing, like... If... Little John Jr.'s sister... Jane Jr. was like, I want to study magic. She could study magic if she wanted to.
Okay, so there's not a hindrance to what you want to study. Anyone can study anything.
Pretty much.
There we go. So no hindrance based on class. Like the nobles aren't the ones with the really educated kids, while the poorer classes have to learn the trade of their parents. It's not so strict. Anyone can learn anything.
But when the government was in control, it was basically like that.
Okay, but now with the Center of Knights, people have a lot more of a modern education.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. Eek. Had a little yawn. Is there any aspects of history that you want written down, or do you want to leave that alone for now, or?
I'm gonna leave that alone for now, if that's okay with you.
That's perfectly fine.
Kind of writing out the history of it.
Of course,
All
of
I know
course.
is there was a war. The Center of Knights decided to fight the government to stop the war. It created a civil war instead, and the Center of Knights won.
Okay. I just kind of put down a simple thing for you for now. You don't have to really worry about that. You can scroll through the rest of this and let me know what else you need to work on. Because we have stuff like myths, like country folk tales, laws that are put in place either by government or the Center of Knights. Actually, yeah, who makes the laws more often than not? The government or the center?
The government, they had their own rules. But the Order of Knights, or basically the captains, have made the rules. Basically, it's like murder, not cool, don't do that, don't burn, don't steal other people's stuff.
Okay, so because the government can't really enforce their own laws, the laws are pretty much ignored if they're nonsensical, I'm assuming?
Pretty much.
Or they don't overlap with the Center of Knights?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I'm assuming tools and weapons, I'm just coming down to the very bottom a moment,
Okay.
Sorry about that. Tiny yawn. But I'm assuming it's also standard D&D, which is why I'm just covering them real quick.
Pretty much.
Alrighty, cool. How do they get around? You said they have horses?
They have horses, mules, donkeys. They do have, like, carriages and carts to hook up to the horses if, you know, if they need to, so.
Are they near a large body of water, or are they kind of in the middle of the continent that they're in?
Oh, basically they're, like, closest to the middle of the continent.
Okay. I'm assuming they wouldn't have, a whole lot of boats, then?
They would have, small canoes to get down the river if they needed to, or wanted to.
But other than that, they probably don't have, like, a sprawling fleet of naval army like ancient Greece.
No,
Okay.
they don't.
Honestly, it feels like they're a slight mix of medieval Norse with Native American. Like
Hmm.
Central North America Native Americans, where they did live in like longhouses a bit, but then they had like separate hunting parties that would move around for a few weeks at a time, which is where we get the idea of teepees. It was just their tents whenever they would go hunting, like buffalo and deer and stuff. And then canoes for rivering as well. So there's another culture you could look into a little bit to get a bit of inspiration. Because, like I said, I'm not okay personally with going wholesale on one single culture, but it does help to look at multiples to see what would fit.
Yeah. Besides, just having one culture is it's just flat.
It is flat, and it wouldn't make sense because it's not Earth. So you're like, why is the Indian culture in Earth? It's like, I don't know, or in Middle Earth or Faerun or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's right there though.
It's kind of like how I wrote my character voice. So she was born in a village, and this village would kind of move around a lot because they didn't use typical houses. They used like tents and teepees, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I also thought of something else. It's not Native American per se, but it's more Mongolian, and I say that because they're in like a colder environment. The Mongolians, nowadays at least, they also have horses, and they're very nomadic. At least the people who live in like the smack dab middle of that area. And they use tents as well. They use these really cool octagonal tents. I have to remember what they're called. Yurts. They're called yurts.
Oh.
So you could look into that as well.
They could use those tents, yurts. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's spelled Y-U-R-T. So I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but it looks like yurt.
Okay. Well, most likely they would use those tents for the hunting parties and stuff, because it would be kind of easier to carry it around.
Yeah, you just need a few horses and donkeys that tote this stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and they can look nice too. I sent you what the interior looks like and what the exterior looks like.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah. That is so awesome.
I love yurts. They're so pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could definitely see that being a tent that they use.
Yeah, I can see it as well.
So there you go, a couple of more inspirations for the hunting parties.
Okay.
And it would offer a lot towards their woodworking, as well as their textile working, because that's basically what a yurt's made of. Wood, which is like in a lattice panel situation. It's like in a lattice formation that they can fold in and out, and then it's just a bunch of sticks put together to make the top.
And I would imagine sometimes if it's like winter out, you see the center?
Yeah.
I would imagine them uh making a temporary fire and like opening up a little area in the middle. Like, you know how TPs are?
Yep.
Like,
That's exactly what yurts do too. People put nowadays they put like gas fires and stuff there, but they take like a little a grill almost and put it in the middle there and use it as a fire to keep them warm. And then they just have the tiniest little hole on top with like a flap over it just high enough to let the smoke escape, and then they'd use that to keep themselves warm.
I'm learning so many new things today.
Yee! I'm glad I can teach.
Thank you for teaching me.
Huh. But yeah, I love yurts. They're so fucking pretty.
They are.
Alright, I need to stop staring at yurts. I can go back up to dwellings and put that down for you, though.
Yeah.
So, for hunting parties, they have wide circular tents, yurts, teepees, that they use to keep warm and comfortable while traveling. There we go. I have entered it in.
Thank you.
Oh no, Pinguina has to go to bed, but have a good bed, Pinguina. They said it's with sadness in my heart and a tear to my eye that I have to go to bed. Yes, thank you for the world building wishes, and you have a very good sleep, Pinguina.
Yes, and thank you for the many questions, because
Yeah,
it brings many thoughts very good.
it helped brain go burr.
Yes.
Alrighty. So the last we really have is traditions, customs, which are different. Traditions, are more akin to... let's see if I can define this. It's kind of like something you pass on from generation to generation through culture, especially through, like, oral tradition. Kind of like, or, oral communication, sorry. Kind of like, it's got, like, a symbolic meaning. We know what it is. Traditions are kind of like folklore. That's a good, that's a good example. Also, clothing that looks dumb, but it's traditional. I know Japan does that. They actually have traditional clothing alongside their modern clothing. So stuff like that. Do they have anything that they've passed on from, like, ancient or old times that people still do, even though it doesn't really make sense to them in a modern context?
I can't think of anything, but I'd like to do that. I just can't think of any ideas for that.
Okay. Well then you could look at the different inspirations we've brought up and look at a couple of traditions in each one and go, this would make sense or this wouldn't, and you could just grab from that. My
Okay.
favorite quote, traditions are peer pressure from dead people. True.
That is very true. I guess a tradition would be, so the first full moon of the year signifies, I don't know.
No pressure. You'll figure it out.
First
It's just there.
of the year is celebration for maybe not a celebration, but like a good harvest. They party to have a good harvest. There we go.
Okay. So that's one out of... that's at least a beginning.
Okay.
Oh, Cosma 50k. Oh shit. Everyone's trying so hard to get to that 60k.
We can do it.
Ah.
Ah.
Dude, it's gonna be really funny if everyone like all 10 different people just come at me at once with like, oh, 70k more. That's right. You want me to draw Caden with you. I forgot. You're adorable, Cosma. Alrighty, but yeah, you don't have to strain yourself for traditions or customs or anything. I get that coming up with everything like that on the spot can be a bit strenuous, but it's just there for a thought experiment for whenever you go through this, because remember, you can actually keep this sheet whenever you're done. This is for you, like, forever. You get to have this and work on it as much as you want.
And I shall forever keep it safe.
Ah, yes, good. Keep it in the lovely Google Cloud.
Yes.
Alright, is there anything else you can think of that you'd want to work on that maybe you want your campaign people to run into? Aspects of culture that you'd probably need fleshed out because of your campaign? Or is this pretty much it for the time being?
This is pretty much it for the time being.
Okay. So, I mean, we covered a lot of shit, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's almost been like 3 hours almost.
Yep. 3 hours is typically the stopping point for world building with guests, because that's usually when we're both tapped for thoughts. Because 3 hours is a long time to just work on something like that.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you can't think of anything else, because my brain's tapped for ideas at the moment too, I could actually start calling it, because once again, I am a little wary about power outages that might end up happening, and it usually happens at around, I've noticed, 1:30. So this week I've just been cautious and ending about an hour early, because I don't want my computer to blow up.
That and my phone's almost dead, so...
Alrighty, then with that, I can say thank you so much for joining me today. This sheet is yours to keep. You can add or change or take away whatever you feel is necessary for your campaign or your setting. Do I have my commission prices posted anywhere? I do! They're in my card. If you just check my card, you can find everything there that you need. But yeah, there you go. And we also have a few cultures you can look at for inspiration. There's also social stuff that we didn't cover at all, which has to do with like languages, gender roles, genders, sexualities that they might consider, you know, social hierarchy, which is like higher class versus lower classes. You can go through that at your leisure and mess with them if you want. And you're also welcome to join in again later. I still have a few more guests lined up, but once I've filtered through a few more people, I do want to start bringing in returning guests, if you would like to join. No pressure, though.
Okay. I really appreciate all of this, and I just want to tell you real quick, you are awesome. I really, really am glad I could, that we could do this today.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun having you on.
Yeah, it was really fun to be here.
Key. I'm gonna cry again, wait. Y'all are too nice to me. I'm just a dork that likes world building. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming on today, and thank you guys for asking all the questions to help. Oh, you're done with the writing! Nice, Pyrian. But yeah, thank you guys for asking questions and helping get the gears turning. Yeah, we do. Go get foods with coffee muns. Yes, thank you, Pyrian. You're very sweet. That was very kind of you. But with that, yeah, I'm probably gonna hop out of here and close out the stream for the day. And thank you so much for joining me and sharing your world and sharing your thoughts and your creativity.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And the Church of Desmond will just be the Cafe of Desmond instead.
Hell yeah. Yeah, keep it a cafe. Also, you're cute, Amy. Mwah. Also, PixelayedFae, you're very cute. Pet pet. Bleh. Alrighty. You can say bye to the lovelies.
Bye, chat. Thank you for everything. Have a good day, and take care of yourself.
Oh, thank you. Alrighty. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alright, well, that was fun. That was the lovely PixelayedFae. We've seen them in my chat a few times. She is very sweet. She was also a little nervous, but to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that. We all started out nervous coming on here. Every person I've talked to, they're like, I'm scared. I'm like, you don't gotta be. I promise, I'm the most loosey-goosey motherfucker you'll ever meet. I have zero script going into this. But I can understand the nerves. I actually was very nervous. I want to say my first week streaming, I was like, this is terrifying. What if no one likes me? What if people think I'm a dork? But I don't know if that ever came off. 'Cause, I don't know. I'm pretty good at hiding my nerves. At least when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, that was fun as hell. It seems like they're going standard D&D for a lot of stuff. They just needed help with fleshing out the particular culture that the campaign is going to start in. And I hope I didn't get anything spoiled. Now I get assaulted by people calling you cute. Yeah, pretty much. And now I'm daily assaulted by people calling me cute. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Here, let's hop over to chat real quick. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys being here. So are you, Usagi. You little chocolate nommer. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something, by the way. I hope our conversations helped with world building for your guys' stuff. Because, I'm not gonna lie, my brain is absolutely stuffed in the stupidest, most, like, random information you will ever see. But it does a lot of good when you want to world build, because then your brain goes, hey, remember that one stupid thing you learned? You can use it for this. And I go, oh, I can use it for that. So, yeah, like me learning naked mole rats are being eusocial creatures. I'm like, oh, that's cool. 3 months later, make dwarves that do that. I'm like, I could do that. Ah, so are you, someone. Leh. Don't call me out, period. Aw, Amy. It's okay, buddy. But yeah, I'm probably gonna call it here. It is only 1 o'clock, I know. But like I said, I don't want to go much farther, and I don't want to risk getting closer to 1:30 and have the power go boop on me, because it's going to be in the triple digits today, apparently. I'm running on slightly less than 4 hours of sleep. Oh, I'll call everybody cute. I'll weaponize it. Oh, Pyrian, you're cute. Blam. Shoot someone with it. But yeah, I don't want to risk my computer short-circuiting if there is a power issue. So I'm gonna call it here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out today and asking questions and watching me and Pixelayed just fumble around this Google Doc all day. Let's go find someone to raid. Let's see. I'm gonna look for a lovely... Oh, there's Kana again, but I just dropped on her yesterday. I don't wanna bother her again. Oh, here's someone who's only been live for an hour. No, I do also love world building. World building's fun as hell. But we're gonna raid a lovely little lady. She is an elf queen. She's very pretty. I think I found her on Tumblr. If I could spell her name right, did I do that? There we go. Apparently it's follower and sub chat only, but that's perfectly fine. We could still drop in and say hi. Now, if you have my emails, you can grab that and let Riri know that it is tea time. However, if you do not have my emails, that's perfectly fine. You can grab this. Let her know the Bat Rave's coming. She's also very cute. She looks very Halloween inspired. I love the design that she has. I'm still trying to remember where I found her. I'm pretty sure it was on Tumblr, and I went, this is cute, and I followed it. And now we're gonna go drop in on her. But let's go give her a nice little greeting, say hi to her, and just be sweet little beans about it. And thank you so much for hanging out with us for world building. Tomorrow, I don't know if I want to risk playing Hades, because Hades is fun as hell. But I'm also rusty, and also I don't know if shit's gonna crash at some point. Hopefully not. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna keep streaming though. And I will see you guys later. Take care of yourselves. It's getting hotter, and I don't want you guys dehydrating. Bye!